Hey everyone, before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories that hit hard and linger long after you hear them. It started like any ordinary Saturday evening. Dinner with friends, glasses of wine clinking, laughter spilling across the table, stories about work, love, and the everyday chaos of life. A night where everyone lets their guard down, just a little too much. My husband Ryan sat beside me, his hand resting casually on my knee. 8 years of marriage behind us, comfortable, predictable, yet sprinkled with quiet moments that made me feel safe. I didn't realize how fragile that sense of safety was until that night. One of our friends, Olivia, had brought her new boyfriend, a tall, magnetic man who seemed to effortlessly draw attention in every conversation. His name was Ethan. He joked about his gym routine, bragged about his stamina, and everyone laughed, including me, maybe a little too loudly. Then, somewhere between the second glass of wine and dessert, Olivia teased, asking if any of us ever felt jealous of our partner's attention. I don't know why I answered. Maybe I wanted to seem witty. Maybe I wanted to be noticed. But the words slipped out before I could stop them. Jealous? Please. The only time Ryan breaks a sweat is opening a pickle jar. The table erupted in laughter. Even Ethan smirked. For a brief moment, I felt clever, funny, the center of attention. But when I glanced at Ryan, his smile didn't reach his eyes. He said nothing, just leaned back quietly, and the laughter slowly faded. Later, in the car, the silence was unbearable. City lights blurred past as I wished I could rewind time, take back that careless line. "You really thought that was funny?" he asked finally, his voice calm, heavy. I swallowed hard. It was just a joke, Ryan. Everyone was laughing. He nodded once. Everyone but me. The rest of the drive passed in silence. At home, he went straight to bed. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to his steady, distant breathing. The next morning, everything seemed normal. Coffee, the newspaper, a quick kiss on the forehead before work. But something had shifted. His kiss didn't linger. His eyes didn't soften. Over the next few days, I tried to fix it, cooking his favorite meals, asking about his day, slipping notes into his lunch. But the warmth was gone. He was polite, kind even, but distant, like someone practicing how to leave quietly. A week later, I came home early, hoping to surprise him. His car was in the driveway, lights on. I crept inside, expecting him on the couch, TV remote in hand. Instead, a packed suitcase sat by the door. "Ryan," I called, voice trembling. He stepped out of the bedroom, shirt neatly folded, calm but resolved. "I'm staying with my brother for a while," he said softly. I froze. "What? Why?" "Because of one stupid joke," he sighed. "It wasn't a joke, Lily. It's what it meant. You don't humiliate someone you love, not even for a laugh." "Ryan, I didn't mean—" "I know," he interrupted gently. "But you did. That's the point. It's not about meaning to hurt me. It's about not realizing you could." I reached for his hand, but he stepped back. The space between us felt wider than ever. "I just need space," he said quietly, "to remember who I am when I'm not the punchline." Then he walked past me, suitcase rolling softly across the floor. I wanted to call after him, to beg, to promise it would never happen again, but the words wouldn't come. The door closed. Final. Devastating. For days passed. Every car door, every phone ping sent my heart racing. But he didn't call. He didn't text. It was as if my voice had vanished from his world. That's when reality hit. I hadn't just made a careless joke. I had broken something sacred. Days became weeks. The house felt colder. His shoes disappeared from the hallway. His mug vanished from the counter. Even the bed seemed emptier, mocking the illusion that love could survive thoughtlessness. At first, I told myself he just needed time. Ryan wasn't impulsive. He was deliberate, patient, the kind of man who fixes what's broken. I convinced myself he'd come back once he realized I was truly sorry. But silence stretched on. Messages went unanswered, first short, then long paragraphs full of apology, promises, memories. Nothing. He remained in the world, active, yet invisible to me. About a month later, I found myself outside his brother's house. Lights on, laughter spilling faintly through the windows. My heart pounded as I hesitated to knock. His brother answered, surprise flickering across his face. "Lily, hi," I whispered. I just want to see him." "He's not here," his brother said. "Moved out last week. Needed a fresh start. Sorry." Ice ran through me.
Gone.
Not just from our home, but from the city, from everything we had built. And it wasn't anger that drove him away, it was disappointment. Quiet, deep, irreversible. Months passed. Holidays came and went. Friends stopped asking about us, sensing that whatever had existed was now gone. I kept replaying that dinner night. The laughter, his eyes flashing with hurt, the sound of my own voice betraying him. It's strange how a single moment can unravel years of tenderness. Then one early spring day, a letter arrived. Not an email, not a text, an actual handwritten note in Ryan's familiar slanted script. My hand shook as I opened it. "Lily, I've thought a lot about what happened. That joke didn't break us. It revealed what had already faded. I spent years loving you quietly, hoping you saw me. Somewhere along the way, I became someone you laugh at, not with. I'm not angry anymore, but I can't go back to being small to make someone else feel bigger. I hope you find happiness. Truly, Ryan." I read it over and over. Every word stung, not because he was cruel, but because he was right. I had taken his patience, gentleness, and love for granted. Slowly, the pain dulled, replaced by understanding. I started walking again on paths we once shared. Sometimes I thought I caught a whiff of his cologne, but it was just memory. 2 years later, I ran into him at a bookstore. He looked older, calmer, more at peace. A woman's hand rested lightly in his. He saw me, nodded politely, and walked away. The final thread snapped silently. That night, I stood in front of the mirror, whispering a truth I had avoided for too long. Some wounds aren't about what we lose. They're about what we failed to cherish while we had it. I mocked the one person who loved me unconditionally. And when he left, I lost not just my husband, but the man who made me feel I never needed to be anyone else. Now, every time I hear laughter at a dinner table, I think of Ryan. Not all jokes are harmless. Some echo forever.